All right, my name's Mookie from the SoCal Sound and the SoCalSound.org. We got some live music in our studio today, which is always fun and always inspirational. Man, we've been following you guys for, I feel like, a number of years all of a sudden. Cayucas is our guest. It's Zach and Ben, and I don't expect you to remember, but we did meet almost a decade ago at a small station in Laguna Beach. Do you recall that?
I remember that.
Oh, you do?
Very vaguely.
At a radio station?
Yeah.
Okay. I remember the radio station.
Yeah, and I think it was just you guys, but today we're getting the full band experience. By the way, who's in the band? Who did you bring to perform with you today?
Yeah, those are our buddies. Russell on bass, Misha on guitar, and Brian on drums.
Right on. So I feel like we've been, well, at least me as a music fan, have been on board with the Cayucas thing for a very long time. Our listeners still hear songs like High School Lover and Cayucas from time to time. And of course, the new song Topo Ride The Wave, which we're going to get a cool live version of that track in our studio in just a matter of moments. But tentative release date on the fifth studio album's coming out. When's it coming out?
Yeah, I guess
do you have any idea quite yet?
We don't really know exactly. Yeah, everything's tentative these days. But I think the soonest it would be fall, but it could easily turn into like not fall.
So we're thinking 2023.
It's very possible.
Let's just go with fall because that seems so far.
Yeah, fair enough. But
it's just kind of, it just depends on how things are flowing.
And in between now and then, we'll be sending out some singles sort of in piecemeal, digital.
Yeah. We've always whenever we finish a record, you kind of set your expectations aside and you stay busy, like just releasing singles and playing shows.
Yeah.
Because the first record we did, it came out, what was it, a year after we recorded it? So
it's incredible how things happen like that.
It's a slow process.
It can be slow, or for some people it happens rather fast, but that's an anomaly. I would say, again, Cayucas is our guest right here. This band of brothers have been grinding it out here in SoCal for a number of years. We definitely claim you as our own here in LA and OC, and we hope that the rest of the country's radio stations like this will follow suit and start, to play your music as much as we've been playing it. But we're going to get into some music right now. We're going to get a cool version of the new song Topo Ride The Wave, and then we'll all talk about it on 88.5 The SoCal Sound.
I said I miss the feelings, staring up at the ceiling, just me. Up on the bookshelf, scents of smoke and the seashells float up above my head. She comes, she goes, walking in the rain without a raincoat. Ride the wave, ride the wave, 'cause I'm low-fi, too slow, slipping through the city like a slideshow. Ride the wave. So tired of waiting, going down, been hesitating, they say it's the hardest part. It's the hardest part. Casio and the speakers, honey, combing my sneakers, toasty. We're going back to the heart, back to the heart. She comes, she goes, walking through the rain without a raincoat. Ride the wave. Too slow, slipping through the city
right, there you go. That's a cool live version here in our studio of Topo Ride The Wave. It's a new song from Cayucas. It's Zach and Ben in our studio right now, and of course their band has been joining us this afternoon. For me, this new song is kind of like vintage Cayucas. It's sort of the lo-fi sensibilities in there and everything. Was there a period of time where you guys consciously wanted to change the process and or the sound of the band?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think like every album, it ebbs and flows. But we did, on this record in particular, we were kind of trying to dial it into kind of this California sound that we kind of started with.
It's back to your roots, more or less.
Yeah, we had that with the last record. So at the last record, we kind of had this mantra of like back to the beach, which was just us. We kind of had been super creative on the previous two records, and then this one we were just like, well, let's kind of dial it in with just sort of like the kind of classic California. We use like the Beach Boys as like our sort of guiding light, and that's kind of the last two records is kind of, we've sort of stayed in that lane.
So moving back to sort of the old school vintage Cayucas sound, just is that the most comfortable you guys are with writing and recording? Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like it, yeah, because you're always trying to find your sound.
Yeah.
And so it's a long process, I think, but I think we kind of realize like that's our sort of our sweet spot.
Right.
But yeah, you kind of find like a sound that is something that like we can do or Zach can do that is very unique to him or, authentic to him. And that's usually in that space of kind of California.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like a mixture of, it's just kind of
nostalgia.
Figuring out, yeah, what you're good at and what your band like should sound like. I don't know.
But after every album, though,
talk about it.
I mean, I've heard this many times. Like after each album, on the extreme side, like a lot of bands, they don't ever want to hear that album again.
Yeah.
I've heard like Phoenix say that, like they hate every band, the previous album, and then you're excited about a new idea and stuff. But so there's that balance too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you get excited about a new idea, and you're like chasing a thread but you don't like. We're kind of like, okay, let's not get too.
We usually go too, like when we start writing another album, we'll go too far in one direction, and then we'll take a step back, every time.
Yeah. It's such an interesting thing. I talk about AFI all the time whenever we talk about bands sort of changing their sound a little bit. Back in the day, super straightforward, sort of punk rock, and then things have changed with the production value and just sonically, it became all different, and, you can't hate on a band for trying to do new things, if I feel like that you guys were kind of in that headspace, like let's try something new, something different. But man, going back to that sound that you're kind of known for, I mean, it makes sense to me, and it's very comfortable for me, and that's what I come to expect from a band like you guys. We will get to some more live music in our studio in just a matter of moments, but since we're talking about Topo Ride the Wave, it had been said in a quote in some bio that I was reading on the internet that the single that we're playing right now really came to you guys in the 11th hour after the whole new record was pretty much complete. Could you elaborate on that just a little bit?
Yeah, so we basically, while we were recording the record, we had kind of scrapped this song that was like an up-tempo song. And the producer was kind of like, he kind of was sort of like bummed that we got rid of it. So he was kind of just like, God, I really think the record could use just like one more kind of up-tempo burner, like we call them burners, which is just like, just a fast song. It's like they always, you can never have like too many burners. But so we were just like, okay, in the back of our minds, we were like, we were kind of winding down with the record, and we were like, we need kind of one more up-tempo burner. But we were just like, the creative juices were just like, gone. So it was just like, we weren't really sure how to do this. So once we finished the record, we said, give us like a month or two to kind of just come up with a song. We needed like a month
a little bit of gas in the tank.
There's a little bit of gas in the tank, but it wasn't going to just come in the studio. So after about a month of writing, something finally came, and it was like, it was this song.
Yeah, incredible.
but it was kind of, and it came, and of course it turns out to be our first single, and sort of like the focal song.
It's crazy how it happens, huh?
Yeah, but
a lot of times it can be the last song you write, which makes sense because you've written this album, and then you're like, wait, there's like a good idea I have after, or the first song, like the very first song, because that was the song that like kind of sparked this creative idea a lot of times.
Right.
But
yeah, I hear you. You talked about the producer you worked with. Is this a Joe Ciccarelli character? And reading up on him a little bit, he has produced some of the best sort of alternative and indie records, really going back since the 80s or something like that. And sounds like a comfortable fit for you guys in the studio, where you show up and it's nonstop, just you going to work as soon as you walk into the door.
Yeah,
you guys were on the same page. It sounds like, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
it was just a total dream come true. We were at Sunset Sound in Studio One, and Joe is like an old school type producer, but it was he was very focused, and
we were kind of just
I was like standing back
watching him.
Yeah, that's great.
It was really
he's like high energy, turning knobs, setting up mics, doing it all. And we're just kind of sitting on the couch.
Zach were just kind of looking at each other.
And he would just be like, snare sound good? And I'd be like, yep. I gave him the thumbs up.
Right. But you've worked with some heavy hitters in the past. I mean, Richard Swift, right, on the Bigfoot album.
Yeah.
Everybody has such amazingly nice things to say about the late Richard Swift. And that's reading up on that. Thought that was very cool that you aligned yourselves with that person.
Yeah.
We're talking too much. Let's get into some music if you don't mind now. Sayulita is a track that will be on the new record. So we're going to get a couple of new songs here and a couple of familiar Cayucas tracks today. Can you give us a storyteller's type of moment with this brand new song before we get another performance?
Yeah. This
song, a little bit of a background or something?
I think it's just something about, we'd heard about this place called Sayulita, which I think it's becoming more popular. It's sort of like a sleepy beach town somewhere off the coast of Mexico. And I guess the name, it just Sayulita just sounded good.
You actually wrote, I'm pretty sure, like, it was a demo that had been sitting around for many years.
Yeah.
And it was, I fell asleep in Sayulita.
The original demo, I fell asleep in Sayulita.
And it was always like in the back of my head, too.
Yeah.
So when we wrote this album, I was like, we were kind of like, what if we did that again?
And but a lot of people, it's kind of like, it's becoming a more popular spot, but I think it was more just the way it sounded. Mm-hmm. I'll like the pre-chorus. I go, I'll see you later in Sayulita, just like the way that kind of worked.
Well, we'll get into it now. It's the live version of the song, and you heard it first right here on 88.5, the SoCal Sound.
I fell asleep in Sayulita, down the long and windy road. The wind was dusty dry, and the desert days long. In the middle of July, I fell asleep in Sayulita, woke up underneath the stars, empty bottles of cerveza, trying to fix a broken heart. But I'm tired of living life on the run. Sangria, sunrise, or midnight sun. I wrote some words on the back of a postcard. I'll see you later from Sayulita. Adios, sleepy senorita. Sayulita, de Cayucas. There's a Cuban smoker's lounge up through the hills of Santa Barbara, through a sleepy seaside town. I fell asleep in Sayulita, woke up underneath the stars, sleepy señorita.
We are 88.5 the SoCal Sound. My name's Mookie, talking with Zach and Ben from the band Cayucas. It is important to note that it is Cayucas with an AS at the end, as opposed to the city in California, Cayucos.
Right.
Although there is a song that you put out called Cayucos, so it's a little bit confusing there. Happy you guys are here. We already got 2 brand new songs off the upcoming, brand new record. By the time this airs or is published, you guys would have already been played the Troubadour, which is cool. And we will be looking for those tour dates or whatever moving forward. You guys are obviously brothers, and I know that if I sat down with my sibling for any extended period of time, we would be butting heads on just about anything. Mm-hmm. So as far as the creative process to put together music together, how hard is it, you guys? Are you guys pretty much on the same page for the most part?
Probably, I would say for the most part. Uh-huh. We definitely have our disagreements. Yeah. But we're twins. I don't know if that changes things.
I don't know. I mean, you see siblings as musicians. Sometimes it just meshes perfectly well, and there's some sort of telepathic thing going on when it comes to creating art. Right. And some people with their siblings, they just don't get along at all and would rather not work with them, So I find it fascinating that you guys have been doing, what you do. Yeah.
I think, it's just kind of I guess a natural thing, but we definitely will have our problems.
It's usually like trying to find, if there is a disagreement, it's just finding the compromise, I guess.
Yeah. Compromising
in the middle somewhere.
So how long have you really been collaborating together? Going back to your formidable years back in the day, did you guys both pick up the guitar at the same time?
Not really. We both kind of got into music in college, mm-hmm. and then I was more into singing. Ben was more into guitar, and then.
Well, yeah, I think you were. We
were kind of doing our own thing, but we knew in our hearts that we wanted to have a band, be in a band.
Yes.
I think we knew deep down that we just wanted to be in a band, when we graduated college, I
think with a lot of people. But it didn't we never really.
We got past there's a hump when you're 26 where you're just
you graduate college and then you go get a job.
Yeah, or you
we did that, but
you pursue a band I think it's 26 or 27 where you have to get reality. It's a reality check where you have to start making money, and so we got through that hump.
Incredible. So now music is basically your full-time job, more or less?
Pretty much, yeah. I guess, it has been for about 10 years.
Mm-hmm. You talked about drawing inspiration from the Beach Boys. How do you guys consume music? Are you streaming? You're listening to vinyl? And also, who else are you listening to?
Pretty much, just streaming. Lots of Spotify listening.
I know you're a big fan of your local non-commercial independent radio station, so appreciate that very much.
I'm either listening to Spotify, something on Spotify, or 88.5. But
he's not just saying that.
No, I believe it.
I mean, I listen to the station all the time.
That's cool.
I was, for a moment, I was just kind of listening to a lot of Casey Musgraves. Like a couple months ago, I was just like wearing her last 2 records out. Just like fun to sing in the car. We recently just have been kind of doing a deep dive into going even deeper into the Beach Boys. Which there's always, I just feel like in the past month, I've learned even more than I thought.
A lot of their like live albums and stuff, which
some of the live records,
Spotify and stuff. I mean, that's just like a treasure trove of so much stuff. Yeah, I think partially because it was like five guys, so and each person like had their own thing, but
it's a live record, and I think it says 1967 on the front, and it's just so good. It's them live in Hawaii,
right?
And it has all their sort of rehearsals in between takes, so you get to. I mean, that's a great little record.
So that's one sort of era that you guys are apparently fascinated with.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, we love the Beach Boys and like Brian Wilson, of course. And then I think it just like every 2 or 3 years, we get really into them again. Yeah.
There's even in your music, there's sort of this indie rock lean, right? Which reminds us of the indie rock resurgence or surgence or whatever in the early 2000s. And you're talking about those bands like The Strokes and some of the lo-fi stuff that was coming out or whatever. So a little bit of new school indie rock with sensibilities of, Beach Boys.
Yeah, I guess we're not, because there is, that indie rock side.
Yeah.
And I think that just came from liking bands like Beck and Vampire Weekend and, Fleet Foxes and stuff.
Right.
Back when we started as a band, like those were the big bands.
Right.
Well, I mean, like at least the world of indie was really popular. And that was great for us because we kind of considered ourselves like indie songwriters.
Right.
We've never really been pop like songwriting people. I've dabbled, in pop production.
You're thinking more of like hooks and stuff, not necessarily like, pre-chorus into a chorus or whatever. Like,
they've kind of dabbled with that, but at the end of the day, it's like indie pop.
Yeah. Now I'm here. You hear undeniably catchy hooks with your music, and that's just not only palatable, but it fucking caters to everybody. I mean, lots of people across many genres. Lots of listeners would, gravitate towards just a toe tapper or whatever. Just an undeniably good song. The guys from Cayucas are here. We are the 88.5, the SoCal Sound here in Southern California. If you're unfamiliar with us, we are a member-supported public radio station. And if you're not a member, you could sign up and support the mission and subscribe through the SoCalSound.org. We're going to get into a song, Yeah, 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 which we've heard on the air many times, as well as Summer Moon. But before we kind of wrap it up here, anything else to touch on before we kind of move on and do our own thing today?
I don't think so. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thank you for having us. Great
to see you. And no matter what the sound is moving forward, we'll be here to support you guys. And
thank you guys for the support.
Yeah, my pleasure. Always got our eye on you guys. And like I said before, hopefully the rest of the country will follow suit. Yeah. And start playing your music as well.
Yeah, as much as you guys.
Rattle of the rattlesnake, and we were hanging under feeling mellow yellow in the parking lot. I'm feeling mellow, you're feeling mellow, we're feeling mellow yellow in the parking lot. December, waiting on the clouds to pass. A purple haze hung above us, and darkens till the night is black. There was a summer moon in the winter, until the sunshine eases through. You left me waiting on a postcard, signed always and forever, P.S. I miss you, until the sun goes down beyond the sea. A shadow in the dark covers you and me. Underneath the stars there is moonlight on the beat. Ooh, someday, someday, ooh, someday, someday. Looking off into the blue sky, where the cliff edge comes to the shore. The summer love lasts a lifetime, and this isn't goodbye, 'cause I'm forever yours, until the sun goes